Okay, now like calm down a bit. Just give me a second. Yeah. Now that calmed down a bit from that Monsters Ball match. I gave it 2 stars. Abyss won. And you can hear my rant about that match in the 3rd video. I'm probably just going way too long with this now. 8th match of the night. We're still not, this is my 4th video, guys. I am so sorry on how long this is taking. Hopefully I'm actually getting better at projecting my voice a little bit so I don't sound so boring when I'm talking. Yeah, I really hope I'm getting better at that. Kurt Angle versus Matt Morgan. This actually turned out better than I thought it would. It was 3 3/4 stars. The only problem I have with it, Matt Morgan doesn't wrestle like a big man. I said this in my predictions video. Truth Slayer. I can never say that guy's name right. Truth Slayer constantly says this. Matt Morgan is a 7-footer. Matt Morgan is a 7-footer. He is not a 6'4" guy. He's not a 6'6" guy, not a 6'7" guy. No, he's 7 feet. He's a 7 feet, 300-pounder. He is a big man. Not many people are 7 feet. He's a big man. He should wrestle like a big man. They were starting to do that in the past couple months, but in this match with Kurt Angle, he's wrestling Kurt Angle, who's 6 foot. Matt Morgan is a foot taller than Kurt Angle. So, Kurt Angle's like up to his chest, maybe even lower, And they made it seem like that, and they actually had Matt Morgan go on the ground. I will give you this, Matt Morgan tried. They actually turned this out better than I thought it was. It is 3 3/4 stars. I will give him this. It did turn out a lot better than I thought it would, but it still would have been a lot better if it was basically the giant versus somewhat the underdog, but still not the underdog, Kurt Angle. That somewhat thing where basically have Matt Morgan show his really big strength, have Matt Morgan do so many different power moves on Kurt Angle, but still have Kurt Angle try to take him out with submissions. One thing I didn't really like the ending of this match but I guess what they're trying to do. So basically, you should just watch the match. I don't really have there's no big spots. It was just it was a wrestling match, so there's really nothing else I can say about that match. Except I didn't like the ending. Well, I can I understand the ending, but I don't like it. The ending was that Kurt Angle would get on somewhat of a roll up, on Kurt Angle was off the top rope and they would have Kurt Angle where he's holding his legs and Kurt Angle has his legs over Matt Morgan's arms to pin him, and they have Kurt Angle pin him like that. I can understand the fact that they're trying to build up Matt Morgan to say that he's toe-to-toe with Kurt Angle, and that Kurt Angle so they're setting it up for a rematch in a way. They're basically saying that Kurt Angle might have a rematch with Matt Morgan because you can say, oh, well, if Matt Morgan was still really fresh at that time, even though he was pinned, he still could have kept on going. Unlike most, and what I thought they should have done was have Kurt Angle make Matt Morgan tap out to the ankle lock, because I know they want to build up Matt Morgan, but I honestly think there's no shame in tapping out to the ankle lock. I mean, they had Shawn Michaels tap out to the ankle lock at WrestleMania 21. No, it's WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. Whatever WrestleMania that was. I think it was WrestleMania 21. And they had no shame, and Shawn Michaels felt. And people had no shame for Shawn Michaels when he tapped out to the ankle lock. I don't think anyone would have had any shame for Matt Morgan if he tapped out to the ankle lock. So I'm just saying, Matt Morgan should have tapped out to the ankle lock in my eyes. He shouldn't have gotten a roll-up. That's my only problem with that match. Okay, good. Now I got 5 minutes to talk about AJ Styles versus Sting. Surprisingly, I really don't have that much to say about this match. I gave it 3 stars to 3.5 stars. Because I honestly thought Sting really did a good job. I honestly was impressed with Sting a bit. The only problem is, I listen to a bunch of guys, so you're going to hear me constantly reference different guys. And I listen to J-Dub, and I thought the match went pretty good. And if anyone ever listens to J-Dub, the guy on YouTube named J-Dub who talks about wrestling, you're gonna hear him somewhat bash this match. I honestly wouldn't have bashed it like he did, but he did make a valid point by bringing up WrestleMania 24 Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair, where Ric Flair wanted Shawn Michaels to be his best, and if there was a cheap shot that Shawn Michaels could get on Ric Flair, he didn't want him to hold back whatsoever. If there's a chance where Shawn Michaels could take a shot at Ric Flair, then Ric Flair wanted him to take that shot type of thing. They didn't do that here. Basically, Sting, AJ goes out to the floor. Sting helps him in. Sting goes out to the floor. AJ helps him in. I was like, I honestly didn't mind me that much, but I could really see where J-Dub was coming from. I was like, now that you think about it, I think if they did that, what you're talking about, that would have made the match better. I guess in a way, because people are comparing this to that match, that they didn't want to completely copy it. So, they did a little different. Instead, they're going to have all, like, the pure respect where they're not, well, it's like a friendship type of thing. Even though, Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair really did pull off that they were best friends, even though they were beating the shit out of beating the shit out of each other. That they still pulled that off at WrestleMania. But another thing, the ending. I don't really think it was that much of a botch. It was a botch by AJ, but people were gonna be talking about this ending. That AJ went to go for a 450 splash, instead he ends with a splash. This is a botch by AJ and Sting. People really aren't bringing up how Sting botched this. I think Sting botched it because, here's the ending. AJ's on the apron. Sting's going over to AJ to try to forearm punch him or something like that. AJ goes for the Pele kick, supposedly knocks Sting out. But the thing is, Sting, you see him walking around the ring all dazed and confused. AJ gets up. He's on the apron, and as AJ's just about to jump, Sting falls to the ground. And what I think was going to happen was that since Sting was still up, AJ thought that Sting was going to stay up. So AJ went for a flying forearm, and it was going to try a flying forearm, but once he saw Sting go down as he was getting on the top rope, he tried to go for 450 splash. He couldn't get it, so he couldn't try to do it, and I guess he'd rather do a regular splash and try to break his neck trying to do the 450. So I honestly don't really blame AJ that much there. Also, the ending where Sting goes out to the crowd to talk to the fans wasn't that good. Problem was, apparently a lot of the tech stuff was going really wrong with this pay-per-view, because AJ, he went through about 4 or 5 mics he's like, hello? And he actually throws the ring down, and he finally gets one that works, and he yells into the stadium to make sure it works, and he's like, thank you, and they starts talking to Sting. But I was like, wow, I don't have any problem. I was like, that's kind of weird. But also, I think they could have made this better if Bound for Glory if Sting came in champion and AJ won the title there, and then they had that big celebration. But I guess the thing was, since it was in California, they wanted to but what they could have done was also do this, have AJ have that big party with and make it really big, because it was at Bound for Glory they won the title, and the first person to beat Sting at Bound for Glory to make it even more impressive, they won the title, and then have Sting come out and congratulate AJ, but also talk to the fans. Also, when he talked to the fans, nothing was accomplished. He just said, I don't know, I'm not going to pull Brett Favre on you, I don't know if I'm going to continue, I don't know if I'm going to quit. See ya, good night. And then, end of pay-per-view. I give this pay-per-view, I said AJ Styles versus Sting 3.5 stars. Give me a second. Okay, good. I'm going to end this. I give this pay-per-view 7.5 to 7.77 rating. So I'm going to say you should. I recommend the pay-per-view, but I don't say you should go out and buy it. Me personally, me watching it live, I kind of thought that paying the $40 was good. I think for other people, they should pay about $25 to $30 for it. So, if you could try to get I'd recommend going on the video vault and waiting till it comes out. That's just me. So that's just me. And see ya. Bye. Hope you enjoyed.